Madden NFL 22, and we've got a showdown in the NFC North. It's the Vikes and the Pack, and it's coming up next.
Historic Lambeau Field. Fittingly, it butts up against Lombardi Avenue here in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gautin on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather, snow, and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
The Florida Atlantic man, Greg Joseph, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lambeau. On the return, it's Taylor. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. We get our first look now at Aaron Rodgers in his 17th season now with the Green Bay Packers. And, of course, coming off a great 2020 where he took home the MVP trophy.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going. And then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Rodgers' throw taken in by Valdez-Scantling. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A completion there for the reigning MVP. And Charles, even though he's slip-sliding towards 40, it is certainly a tough task to ask a defense to stop Aaron Rodgers. But what can they at least try to do to slow him down?
I think for him is take advantage of the few opportunities he gives you. He's not going to throw very many interceptions, so if you get a chance to get your hands on the ball, you'd better take it. But if you can get him off the field on third down, that is a huge one. Be able to blanket receivers, knock the ball free, but get off the field because the longer that drive goes, he's going to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 41. Now a first down carry by Jones. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Now Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already in the field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
Yeah, just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. On first down, Rodgers. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
A 2nd and 10 on a chilly, snowy December day, and I must say, I'm loving it. Kind of putting me in the holiday spirit. Charles hates it, and has given me the evil eye, folks. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings' 20-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Man open, and St. Brown has got it. And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, got the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Now Jones. And a nice pick up there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Jones again. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Throwing is Rodgers. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. The 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Packers take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. That was a big throw right there on 3rd and goal.
And the defense has to be prepared for you to throw the ball on 3rd and goal. Because really, 2nd down, 2nd and goal, that's your play action time, and you're not sure whether they're going to run it or throw it. 3rd down, you're usually sure they're probably going to pass it. Even more impressive that they got it done, and on the opening drive of the game.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that makes the score 7-0. The touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Minnesota offense ready to go to work here. Their quarterback in his 10th season overall now, and 4th as a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
Not bad for a 4th-round draft pick. Well over 100 career starts now. And the chemistry with his top targets, really on point. They spend a lot of time in practice and after practice making sure the routes are run well, and he knows exactly where they're going to be on the field. And when they get open, he delivers.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Cook able to escape, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And that's why Dalvin Cook is the Minnesota Vikings feature back. You put the ball in his hands, good things happen. 2nd in the NFL last year in rushing with 1,557 yards, and that's now back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons with 30 combined total touchdowns. What a player is Dalvin Cook.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a run with Cook, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They go play action. Cousins. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
So failure to connect on 2nd down. That leaves him starting up here with a 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Cousins. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Preston Smith gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Back for the 2nd quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football, as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Now a play fake. Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
On play action, now Rodgers. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. The D-tackle Sheldon Richardson came barreling in for the sack. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
You ain't gonna burn me. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now it's Rodgers. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And the Vikings will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Dean Lowry in there to bury him for a loss of 11. And when you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Now Cousins. And that is incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll send this one into the cold Lambeau night. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
To throw is Rodgers. He's got to hook up to Lazard. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Slant to Adams. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A reminder coming up at halftime while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box. We'll be sending you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half. And he's brought down. So that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Rodgers' throw is taken in by Jones. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They should have gotten more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Rodgers again now. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Sheldon Richardson able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, got to make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Back deep, D.D. Westbrook. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Vikings in that first half. And I can imagine the halftime discussions are about how can we improve the running game. They have not had success so far, and it's reflected on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, for the Packers, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Not too many breaks ahead according to the radar. More snow on the horizon as we are back underway in half number 2. Fielded right around the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the 3rd quarter. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And, you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
They run it again with Cook. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The 3rd down there. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go and they bring him down. Preston Smith, his 2nd sack of the night.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at about the 32.
Out of the gun, he'll throw.
Got a man, that's Lazard. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
from midfield. Here's Rodgers. Man open, here's Jones. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down.
They go with the empty set there. 5 receivers in the formation. Normally, you want to have a running back in to block, but in this case, he's lined up to the right, and he ends up getting the football. A lot of confusion caused defensively, and it turns into a big play.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's Rodgers to throw. And Lewis lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
Yeah, both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
Let's see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
And Cook getting the call there on first down as he works his way forward for a nice gain of 5.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
Working with 2nd and 5 now.
Again, it's Cook. Shifts by him.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Preston Smith bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I could dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins, 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And with a 3rd and 13, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively. Cousins. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
It's always a goal. It's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. That's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over.
The Packers ready to take over offensively.
And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Jones again on 2nd down.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And Lewis has it, the tight end.
And he's going to have the Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He'll get this to Lazard. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, right at the 40. On 1st down, it's Jones. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40.
Xavier Woods, a former Cowboy, in on the tackle.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. He'll let this go for the end zone.
And, oh, that would get a wide-up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. To throw, it's Rodgers. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses, because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion forced there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
That one hurts a bit. That was a golden opportunity to possibly put this one on ice, but he comes up empty.
And how big of a miss might that turn out to be? Stay tuned. There's still time left on the clock. This could be critical.
Still a 1-score game. Had he hit that, it would have been 2 scores. And now out comes Minnesota. And we've seen drive after drive come up empty for them, and they've yet to dent the scoreboard, yet still right in the middle of a 1-score game.
So this is where you absolutely have to forget everything that's happened in your previous drives. They don't matter right now. You just mentioned it. 1-score game.
This drive here can erase all of what happened previously.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Second and 10. Now a quick throw into the hands of Jefferson.
And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Osborne.
And he will have a Vikings first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Cousins. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now Cousins. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sack back at the 38. Chris Barnes caught him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the 1st down sack. Cousins.
Open man is Osborne. He's got it.
That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It'll be a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. He's going to air one out. And this is caught on the sideline. Are the feet in? They are. What a catch. A big connection on that one. 32 yards.
So on 4th down, a big time completion. And the defense, they've got to be shaking their heads right now.
Not only shaking their heads, but understand that they committed one of those cardinal sins that they say they can't do at any time. They committed an eye violation, had their eyes in one place, and allowed the deep ball behind them.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
That's it, ready? Go.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Cook, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. On the return, it's Taylor. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
I know a lot of people won't like the draw called in that situation, but every now and then that pops big. In this case, it didn't happen.
The clock rolls as the Packers look to hurry things up. Now Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Complete, Valdez-Scantling.
And he goes out right around the 39.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Finding some room at midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw, Rodgers. And Lazard's got it again. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. They'll run on first down. It's Jones. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. Got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Again, it's Jones. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So the game here hangs on the right foot of Mason Crosby. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So the game here hangs on the right foot of Mason Crosby. This a long one from 54. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And that changes everything here in OT. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. On the return, it's Taylor. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw taken in by Adams. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. When you're trying to win a game in overtime, I don't know that there's too many more in the history of the game you want under center than Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I think a lot of it's because he can beat you so many different ways. All right, he can beat you with the big shot downfield. Heck, if you need a Hail Mary, no one throws it better than Aaron Rodgers. But just when you think you've got him corralled in, when you've got pressure on him, he uses his legs to escape and create another big play, whether he's running it or extending it so a receiver gets open. I think he embraces overtime, and he embraces the spotlight that comes with it.
7 yards, the pickup there. Three yards remain for second down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This is Lazard with a catch out left. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. They'll Good start for him under center here in overtime. Now 3 of 3.
And this is where you have to know who you have playing quarterback. You've got a confident thrower right now, someone who's taking care of the ball, but not being timid as well, and is moving the team downfield. That opens up your playbook and allows you to dial up some big shots if you want them.
On first down, it's Jones, and he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing now is Rodgers. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
3rd and 8 situation, a tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive. Throwing is Rodgers. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Lewis. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
That is inches from the upright. It's no good. Wide to the left, and that changes everything here in OT.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to him, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
And part 1 is done. Now part 2. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 37. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
What can Cousins do in the OT? And complete right side to Cook. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
A 1st down throw for Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 49 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
They're going for Jefferson downfield. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
Once that ball was popped in the air, you could almost hear the silence, the collective breath being held here in the stadium.
Let's be honest about it. We both came out of our chairs, didn't we? All right, anytime you see the ball in the air like that, there is that collective rise, the crowd holding its breath, and boy, oh boy, the moment of truth as it comes down. Man, that was something.
Everything magnified here in overtime. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run it back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
Rodgers now on first down. And his throw here is incomplete. This being their second opportunity in overtime, third overall drive, see if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Rodgers. That's taken in by the tight end, Josiah DeGuara. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. To throw is Rodgers. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That last pass puts him over 300 yards now in the game. More importantly, though, big first down here in OT.
And the team around him has a lot of confidence now after picking up that first down. Everyone seems a little more energized. But did I hear you before the game call in and say, this is my quarterback for your fantasy league? Because he just gave you a good stat, didn't he?
He did, and I appreciate it. They'll run on first down. It's Jones, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll go again to Jones. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
Rodgers now to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the sign judge. And that's good enough for a first down. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmys and the Joes.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago. He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
On 3rd down, here's Dillon. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
So the game here hangs on the right foot of Mason Crosby. And play will be stopped here with 10 seconds remaining in overtime as they've called a timeout. So the game here hangs on the right foot of Mason Crosby. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. Now remember, this one is not over. With the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that's a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost felt like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.